Hello, my name is Madison Townsend, and for this project, I decided to do what is the impact of vegan and vegetarian diets on gut microbiota? Some objectives we're going to assess, evaluate, and discuss how vegetarian diets may have an impact on gut microbiota and why they do. A little introduction. So, we know that vegetarian diets have different ones that can be considered a vegetarian diet. Starting off, we have vegan, which is no meat, no dairy, no eggs, and it's just plant-based. Lacto-ovo vegetarian is no meat, but will eat dairy products and eggs. Lacto-vegetarian is no meat, no eggs, but will eat dairy products. Ovo-vegetarian doesn't eat meat or dairy products, but will eat eggs. Flexitarian is primarily plant-based focused and will include meat and other animal products when desired. Then pescatarian is plant-based diet that will include fish. And as we know, vegetarian diets can be beneficial to anyone at any age and has many different benefits. And you can start whenever to start receiving those benefits from a vegetarian and vegan diet. Gut microbiota are microorganisms that live in the digestive tract, such as the small intestine, large intestine, and the stomach. And these help ferment food, protect against pathogens, stimulate immune response, and will help in vitamin production. And each one of these microorganisms within the gut have different roles and different things that they do to help with the whole ferment food and vitamin production and stimulate immune response. Some beneficial bacteria to keep in mind during this PowerPoint is bifidobacteria, lactobacillus, and prevotella. I did enjoy this little picture over here because it gave you 4 of the good bacteria that we need in our digestive tract to keep it healthy and to keep our immune system going. So the question is basically, do plant-based diets have a negative or positive effect on the gut? Well, this first study that I found focused on an impact of a 3-month vegetarian diet on the gut and the immune system. So the study group changed their meat-eating diet to a lacto-ovo vegetarian diet, which again, lacto-ovo is no meat, but will eat dairy and eggs. And then the first control group was the normal meat eating diet, and then the second control group was the vegetarian diet before the study. And so they didn't find much evidence that changing to a lacto-ovo vegetarian diet from the meat eating diet had they didn't really have a positive or negative impact within those 3 months, but they did find that the long-term vegetarian diet, which was control group 2, did have an anti-inflammatory effect on gut bacteria, which would be an increase on the beneficial bacteria and a little bit more of a diverse gut microbiota. The second one was an article that went over different studies and different publishes that dealt with vegetarian diets and gut microbiota. And as we can see, you know, if we have changes in the gut, it can lead to many different allergies, metabolic diseases, type 2 diabetes, some mental health disorders, and even obesity. But they found that vegan and vegetarian diets include a greater profusion of beneficial bacteria within the gut. And some of the impacts of a vegan diet on the gut is there's an increase in short chain fatty acids, an increase in Prevotella to bacteroids ratio, and there is more anti-inflammatory protection within the intestine. And Prevotella you mainly find within plant foods, and bacteroids you mainly find in animal and fat products. But the gut microbiota, the gut needs a highly diverse community since, like I said before, each bacteria has a different role that interacts with nutrients and immune response, and it's overall just needed for your well-being. And vegan diets do have a greater increase in beneficial bacteria, but going forward in some of these other studies that I found, the diversity of the gut bacteria is lower than normal. And this one, I found it really interesting actually because it was a randomized trial and they did a low fat vegan diet on overweight individuals. So first they had 168 people come in and do the baseline assessment. 84 were in a vegan group and 84 were in the control group. 65 completed the assessment in the vegan group and only 50 completed in the control group, which the control group was um basically just the normal meat eating diet, the normal American diet, pretty much. So, the results of the study found that a low fat vegan diet is related to changes in the gut microbiota, and there was an increase in Bacteroides fragilis and face Faecalibacterium pranitzii. um, but yeah, they found that Bacteroides fragilis was associated with a greater loss of body weight, fat mass, and visceral fat, and a greater increase in insulin sensitivity. And this other bacteria was mainly focused within the control group, which was the animal eating group. But all of these benefits that came from this type of bacteria were due to the vegan diet because it changed the gut microbiota within those individuals who took on the low fat vegan diet. This little picture here from this article I enjoyed because it kind of gave you a side by side look on different diets and their impact on gut microbiota. And as we see here, vegan and vegetarian diets have microbiota diversity with a question mark. And we'll get into that a little bit more, but they did have anti-inflammatory effects. While if we look at the normal Western diet that most of America takes on, they have a lower microbiota diversity and not as many short chain fatty acids. And they have pro-inflammatory responses. Now, within this article, they found that vegan and vegetarian diets could decrease gut microbiota diversity, which necessarily isn't a horrible thing, but we do need some diversity within the gut again, because different bacteria do different things and have different immune responses. But they did find that polyphenols, which are associated with plants, increase beneficial bacteria within the gut. So if you take on a vegan, vegetarian diet and you're mostly eating plant foods, that's going to increase more of the beneficial bacteria. And they found that the consumption of complex polysaccharides and plant protein could be associated with more beneficial bacteria quantity and stimulating short chain fatty acid production. And then omega-3s, polyphenols, and micronutrients appear to have the potential to confer health benefits via modification of the gut microbiota. So if you take on a vegan or vegetarian diet, you're going to have more of a increase in beneficial bacteria, but there's still not going to be that diversity that we do need within the gut. So conclusion, vegan and vegetarian diets do have an impact on gut microbiota, which was the starting question. And then my question, do they have a positive or negative impact? I found that they have more of a positive impact than negative, but the topic still needs to be researched especially with if there's more diversity of the gut microbiota within your small intestine, large intestine, and stomach, or if it's just more of there's more beneficial bacteria. But vegan and vegetarian diets can improve beneficial bacteria in the gut, but again, may decrease the gut bacteria diversity, which we do want a diverse bacteria in the gut. But overall, vegan and vegetarian diets do have an impact, and it can be positive, and there still needs to be more research done. Thank you for watching.